What's up, Sports and Media 465? Today, we got in the tank, we got Joshua Never Lose to Cruise. This man's undefeated in his middle school journey. His high school journey was an absolute stud at basketball. Now he's tied to ASU athletics, still performing in some regards to basketball. Not the way that he anticipated growing up, but he still had a role with the team. Josh, let's kind of get it kicked. What's your relationship with the team, and what team are you participating in?
Yeah, so pretty much I'm a practice player for the women's basketball team. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm just there at practice, kind of like the dummies and just some defenders they can use. To practice, run plays, run their different offense, defense against, kind of just see what's working and what's not for them.
Sweet. I appreciate your help with the women's team. How do you interact with the team, and in what ways do you interact with the team?
Yeah, so it's mostly through practice. A lot of times it's studying what the opponents are going to run, whether that's their offense, their defense, and then we come out and try to do that as best as we can so that the girls' team has, a reference to see how they're going to do against these opponent. Yeah.
Through what channels are you following the team? Are you watching it on TV? Are you at the games in person? Are you watching it on social media?
Yeah, I try to go as many of the home games, of course, as I can. But I think the easiest way for me to kind of get, the media coverage is through the Instagram. That's what I've just found to be the easiest and just the quickest and just most.
What have you learned through the Instagram and being there in person, Josh?
Obviously, being there in person, you kind of learn about the players and the coaches too. But I think on media, you kind of just get the stats and honestly just how the rest of the world sees the team and the players and everything in that aspect.
How the rest of the world sees it. That's a good one. Let's kind of lean into that. What's your understanding of the media coverage of this team?
Honestly, it's kind of unfortunate, but as women's sports go, it is kind of, they do get less coverage than men. And I think for no really good reason. I think, I've been to the games, I've been in practice, there's just as many characters, there's just like the games are just as good. And it's kind of unfortunate that, not everyone's able to see that.
What's your perspective of the team? What lens do you see the team through? It's probably a little different than what I do as just a fan.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely like a personal relationship with a lot of the players. You can definitely see like the mental aspect that goes into the game that maybe you or other viewers might not see. Some people are more composed, so they get in people's heads. That aspect, just kind of like the mental chatter, like all that. You can see that on the court. Yeah.
If you could change or improve anything in regards to coverage of the women's basketball team, what would you change?
Man, probably just going back to just getting more coverage. I think there's a lot of ignorance that, is in the women's sports realm, and I think if people would just give it a chance, and there just aren't a lot of opportunities for people to give it a chance. I think, if it was on more channels, got more social media coverages and things like that, I think, you'd see a tremendous growth in viewership and just fans in general of women's sports.
Awesome answer. I appreciate that. Let's get into some of the fun ones. So what was your favorite aspect of being on the team or a part of the team?
Yeah, I think what I missed the most was just being on a team. And you're an athlete, what comes with that. Just the hyping each other up, the competitiveness at practice, nothing really beats that, And I miss being a part of that, having a bunch of people who are going to work towards a certain goal, failures and wins, it's just a great thing to be a part of.
Being part of a team is huge. That probably leads into the next one. What was your biggest contribution to the team?
I think the biggest contribution was probably learning how to be a role player. Especially in my position, the team was successful if I didn't do good because the team was dominating us. When we were losing in practice, it kind of feels weird, but it's that's a win for us because that means the team's getting better, the team's doing what they're supposed to be doing, even though we're getting cooked. But that's just
something you never had to be a part of before.
Yeah,
consistently losing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Lastly, I don't want to keep you too long here. I know you got a busy schedule out there with the hoops. What's the most influential person that you had a relationship with from the team?
I think I would definitely say Coach Sanchez. She was an assistant coach. She wasn't the main coach, but she was that assistant coach that like always got you fired up, and she could always tell if you were having a bad day or a bad game or a bad practice, and she just was able to understand and click with the players. I think everyone has had a coach like that in their life.
Yeah.
I definitely had those coaches in high school, and I saw that a lot in her. And I think she did a lot of behind the scene things, but she contributed a ton to I think the team's success.
Well, Josh, I appreciate you for your time.
Yes,
You have a
sir.
good one, and go Devils.
Yes, sir.